So this is a copy of a Roman dodecahedron. Not particularly big, and none of them really were. They were between sort of 30 and 100 millimeters across. Now, they have found something like 120 of them since the late 1700s, and some of them were found with money hoards, and some of them were found with remnants of wax in them. Now, I've been thinking about this quite a lot, and what I would say is the nubs sort of make it a practical item rather than a decorative or a ornamental item. And with that in mind, if it's a practical item, then the holes will serve a practical purpose. The reliefs around the holes, which tend to be different, and the size of the holes will also be of a practical purpose. And with that in mind, you've then got 12 sides, 12 different holes, in the sense that they may be the same size, but they've got a different relief. And it's clear to me that this was used for a very particular purpose. So with that in mind, if this is a practical use, and they've dated it from 2 to 400 AD, which is really the extent of the Roman Empire in the northern areas of Europe, so up into Germany and Britain, where most of these were found. And most of them were found in a military environment, a military site. So using that and then making some assumptions, for example, this may not be the whole thing. This may be a part of something else, or other things may be part of this. And therefore, it's difficult to look at it in isolation and say, oh, what is that for? So the other big thing is, this is difficult to copy. You've made something that it's manufactured in a way of casting. It's called lost wax casting. So this was made in wax. It was put in some kind of medium like plaster of Paris. The wax was burnt out, and then this copper alloy was then let into the mold that was left, and that formed this object. Now that is, going back, 1800, 2000 years ago, that is quite a feat of craftsmanship. So if someone made this, it was made to be difficult to copy. It was made to be unique. So if we think we've got something unique, something practical, something that was found on military sites, and something that was sometimes found with money, I'm now going to illustrate a problem that would have existed at the time that this could have solved. So Maximus Meridius in the northern regions, the general of the northern armies, has asked for some money from Julius Caesar. So this is a figurative view on history. Obviously, they didn't use mobile phones, but the principle is, someone is in the north, they need money. The money is in Rome, 1,000 miles away, and there must be a methodology to get that money from the treasury or the bank through the administration to the efforts that were going on in, say, in northern Germany. So here's the thing. Julius Caesar goes to the bank, gets 13,783 coins. He's going to send them up north to Maximus. So while he's got them, he's thinking about his mate Paul Newman, who's just about to start a salad dressing company, and he's thinking, oh, I could have a few coins and invest in his new company. So now there's less money there. So now he gives that bag of money to Eeyore, who's the donkey, who's got to trudge for 4 weeks up to the north. And Eeyore's thinking, well, it's Winnie the Pooh's birthday. I'm going to get him a subscription to Love Honey. I'll have a few coins. And then the bag turns up with Russell Crowe, who hasn't got any friends, but he's absolutely sick of German wine. And he thinks, well, they've shortchanged me again. I know what I'll do. I'll have a few coins and I'll order up some Pinot Grigio. So you see, what I'm trying to say is that money, even though it's in a bag, wasn't sort of validated from exchange to exchange to exchange. And what the dodecahedron does fixes that. So back where we started. Now, how do we make this into a device to act as a certificate on the value of money in a bag or a box? By adding two simple things to this, and I said it probably wasn't complete when you looked at it originally, we can count on this the value of the coins. So we said 13,783. If we take the largest hole, and if we think about it, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes. There's 6 main characters in the Greek numeric system. So you'd have I, V, X, L, C, and M. So if we took the largest hole as the thousands, we make a piece of cord traverse this hole 13 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, if we go down to the next thing and we take the smallest to mean 1, and if we act in a sort of, well, imagine it went 1 V X, now 1 V X L C. So we'd say that was the hundreds if we sort of count back then. So 13, 7. So we put 7 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we want to come around to 7, 8, 3. So we'd have 1 for the 50, and then 3 for the 30, and the string's not long enough to do the rest of it, but you can see what I'm trying to do. Now the second item that completes this is a wax seal. As you can see, I'm no expert in wax sealing, but again, I think we can see the principle of how this thing would work. So if I try and so let's pull that up. I think this was going around the Roman Empire in a bag of money as basically a certificate. I think they may have put a seal on every crossing, but who knows how it was used. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you'll realise that we can use the 6 characters on one side, and then what's the other side for? I was pondering this, and I think the logical answer would be you'd use one side for gold coins and the second side for either silver or maybe even the debased provincial currency that they used in Rome, where the value of the coin doesn't meet the value of the metal. Maybe they used that to pay the soldiers. You got to bear in mind there were 4 legions in Germany. That's 20,000 men. So you're buying a lot of food, you're paying a lot of wages. There's certainly a lot of cash going back and forth before you've set up the local administration and collected money locally. So that's my theory. Thanks very much.